Welcome back to the channel. Sorry, I'm a week or so late again. We are right in the thick of softball season, and I have been dragging my daughter and my family all over the Southeast playing softball, but I can say we're kicking a whole lot of butt in the process, so it's definitely worthwhile in that respect. As far as War Machine goes, haven't got to work on a whole lot lately. Luckily, I do have a stockpile of content to keep making videos for you guys when I get time to edit the stupid things. It takes about as long to edit it as it does to make it. So, nonetheless, back on the wiring for this thing. Gonna keep plugging away, get this engine wired up, get this engine cockpit underhood all squared away. So let's get to it. I'm gonna just keep it nice and get it here. Top all this money and time in a truck and then zip tie some little bullshit. And pull that one in too tight right out the gate. Try this again for the first time. There we go. Now we're cooking with sizzling. Well, I don't think that's going to do just a particularly good deal of holding it, but it'll hold it in place until I can get what I need, I reckon. It's pretty terrible, really. Yeah, that's pretty terrible. But you get the idea anyway, so let's see. Next up, what do we got? We got a big old ground wire right here, which could actually probably run that right there and put them in a riv nut right here. Actually, probably easier to put one right here. That's what I'm going to put a riv nut right there. We'll get that ground mounted. Then we'll start looking at some of the rest of this stuff, what I got to do to mount it. Because I've got that other big PCM. I think I want to mount it right here if it will fit. Now mind you, this, you see this thing moving around some. It's not locked in obviously all the way across through here because I've still got to adjust the fenders and all that. I'm just going to wait to fully lock it down until I get the fenders adjusted to the hood. So right now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put me a riv nut in right here, put these grounds into that, and then we'll start looking at that other PCM. Because once I get that other PCM mounted, the rest of this stuff is just, you know, onesie, twosie plugs, stuff that I can find. So let me get a riv nut and a bolt for this ground, and then we'll make a hole for that. Now, mind you, I am grounding it to this. This does bolt to the body and the radiator support and stuff. Trial and error, you know, maybe it's going to be a good ground, maybe it's not. If it's not, I'll extend it and figure something else out. But for now, we're going to give it a shot and see what we get. I mean, I don't see what it could hurt to try it. If it turns out to be a crap ground, then we'll redo it. But hopefully it'll be okay. It's a little bit of an issue. Hadn't counted on that. There we go. Check it, make sure we got it set good. Oh yeah. Ain't going nowhere. Well, hopefully that ought to be good. I mean, on the 450 it was grounded on the apron. So now I will say though the apron was welded to the rest of the truck, so I don't know. We'll see. Trial and error. Nothing else. It looks pretty clean, huh? All right, so let's see. Next step, I gotta find that other plug for that big PCM. Let me find that. So I know this goes over here for that. All right, so I went and had dinner, and I was thinking about it while I was eating dinner, and I think I figured out where I'm gonna put this other PCM or whatever it is. You'll see, I kind of got back and I got excited and I got to working before I got to filming. So don't worry, you didn't miss much. So basically, I have weaseled this thing into this spot right here. Now, it looks like I've got a lot of area here to mount the thing, in which I actually kind of do. The wire that runs to it is pretty long, but I know that I'm gonna have to cut into this bottom of this wheelhouse a little bit whenever I put the bags on it later for the bag mount. I think it's gonna have to come up about that far into it. If I can get this thing mounted right here, it should be good and out of the way. I shouldn't have to worry about it there. Now, getting in there to drill holes and whatnot is gonna be a horse of a different color. Now, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that just yet. What I would love to do would be to put rib nuts in there, you know, to bolt it in place, but I don't know that I'm gonna be able to get in there with my tool. I don't know, maybe if I take the master cylinder off, maybe I can. I don't know. I'm going to have to sort that out. But I've climbed over in the engine compartment, and I took a little Phillips head that I had with a sharp point on it, and I kind of scratched out where the holes need to be. So I'm going to pull this thing back out of here, and then I'm going to have to get in there and figure out how I can get in there with a drill. And then hopefully I can, in a perfect world, I'm going to be able to get in there and put rib nuts in it and screw the thing in. That way it'll tighten in nice, and it'll be mounted nicely. I don't have to worry about nuts backing off or things like that. So that's my plan right now. So now I just got to get this thing back out here without dropping it. Let's see how this goes here. Oh, it actually came back out. I didn't go in that way. I don't know why I didn't go back. I didn't know why I went in that way. I went in from the bottom. I don't know. Apparently I'm a dumbass. I don't know. No. Nonetheless, now let's see about what I got to do to drill some holes. All right, well, I've stared at it for a few minutes, and it looks like the best plan is going to be to just take these two lines loose, which go to the Hydro Boost for the power steering, pull the two brake lines off of it, and just pull the master cylinder off, because then I'll be able to get right in there to it, and then I'll be able to see that way. If everything lines up, I can put rib nuts in it, and I just like how that'll be mounted that way. So let me get going taking this apart now. It's going to be just a couple of seconds for y'all, but it's probably going to take me a little bit. Luckily, these two lines are hand tight because I needed an O-ring for them that I haven't gotten yet, but everything else I think is tight. Right there, right there. Of course, I have no way of knowing if that's actually going to line up. Let me take a gander at this here part for a second. Yeah, I think it'll work. I'm just gonna go for it. Make sure I got what I need over here. Whew, I think I got 3. Oh, really? Oh, man. All right, let's see what we can get going on here. And it's a 10. That's awesome. There's that. You know, I tell you, it's the little nitpicking stuff like this that turns out to be the most time consuming. You know, when you show up and somebody's looking at your ride at a, you know, Cars and Coffee or, you know, a show if you show it or whatever. And it's the stuff like this that takes forever to do, that you end up doing lots of little meticulous things to try to get just right, that people never notice. It just completely goes unnoticed. I mean, the amount of time spent is just like, ah, man. But, I mean, I guess in the end, you know it's right, right? Of course, this thing is, I put the rib nuts in exactly upside down to the way this thing's supposed to be mounted. Like a big dummy. I'm gonna find a way to make it work though. I think I got all of them started. Now, wiring wise, this thing is coming in the exact opposite of the way I want it to go, but if I can bring this main harness up across here, if I can get this tight, bring this main harness up across here, I might be right where I want to be. Kind of packed a lot into a small area there, but just might work. Now, question is, are these bolts long enough that I can tighten them? Or am I going to have to try to find some longer ones? I don't know. That'll be kind of tough to find some metric bolts that are that long. Of course, now that I've put the rib nuts in, I could go to Home Depot and get some standard ones, I'm sure, some big Phillips heads or something. And then this thing, I don't know what that's for, if that's supposed to be protected some type of way or what. That's a little bit concerning. I don't know. Let's see if I can tighten these. Not gonna tighten them with the impact. That seemed to pull down nicely. 2 for 3. Oh man, that's what's up. Yeah, that's good and tight. Let me check, make sure we pulled through good under here. Yeah, we're looking real good actually. Well, that worked out quite swimmingly. Now I'm sure when I call my buddy and I tell him how I mounted this, I'm sure he's probably going to tell me that I can't mount it that way for some reason. Who knows? But I'm sure it's going to be a problem with it. But I'll burn that bridge when I come to it. Ooh, looks like I got a ground here. All right, gonna have to account for that guy. Put him somewhere. Ooh, look at that. Right there. Be a good spot. Nice body ground. And this still fits right here nicely. Once I get that, that'll actually look pretty good. And then I should be able to. Be nice if I could just stuff that right there, wouldn't it? Now, fish this guy up through here. I think that's going to be just fine. I'll just zip tie this guy. I'm not going to need that. Yeah. Fresh piece of tape here. All right. Now, Get this zip tie, stick it on there. Well, how far does this thing come down? Yeah. So, zip tie that guy. That'll work. Maybe. I don't know if it will or not. But I like it right there. So I'm going to try to find some kind of way to make that happen. Right now it's getting zip tied though. I should drill like a hole in that, huh? Drill like a hole right there. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. There now. Ta-da! Alright, so let's move some of this crap out of the way. So while I got my booster out of the way, I guess I'm gonna get to some of these other things that are down here that are kind of in the way. So that is probably not gonna sit there the way I had envisioned. I'm still liking that mount right there. That's kind of a winner for me at the moment. But we'll move down here to this bank right here that controls a whole bunch of stuff. I don't really know what, but a whole bunch of stuff. So we can go in and get these plugged in. I'm just gonna kind of let them hang for now because there again, all right in this area, I'm gonna have to do a lot of work, a lot of welding. So, but for right now, my main purpose with all this is to get my wiring harness routed. That way I can see where everything sits. And I can do it with the hood off. That way I got plenty of light, because if I had to work under this hood, it'd be a real pain in the butt. So like these, I'll be able to zip tie them out of the way, no problem. After the fact, actually what I can probably do, because that's got a push clip in it, I can just mark that and drill me a little hole right down here. And that's going to be perfect to let that sit down and out of the way. Ooh, I like that. Might have to go ahead and just mark that and drill that. That actually got out of the way quite nicely. Like that a lot. Let me get some kind of pin. Right there. Actually, a whole lot more room to work with that master cylinder out of the way. I'm gonna be able to clean that up pretty nice. I wish my dash was already in so I could go ahead and plug all this crap in, but we ain't got to that yet. Getting there though. So I'm gonna drill a hole for that and get that mounted down. Then it should be getting pretty close to putting the master cylinder back on. Let me drill that hole. See how that works out. Please let that hole some kind of way. Excellent. Man, look at that. Don't that look clean? Woohoo. I kind of pulled this a little bit more than I really wanted it to be, but I can live with it. Now this area down here is going to get very congested very quickly. I don't know how all that's going to work out just yet, but I guess I'll just have to figure that out when the time comes. All right, so I think getting the junction box over there and that other PCM, or I don't know, whatever that box is, getting that mounted up should have been the most difficult part of the wiring harness. From here, basically, I've got to loom it over to the motor on this side of the head. Headlight wires, ABS wires down over here. Got to kind of figure out how I'm going to loom them. Go across the top of the firewall right there. I'm going to use like zip ties with this where I can screw them down, screw them across there. Got a few grounds I got to attach and just plug a bunch of stuff in. I've got 2 AC lines that I've got to put on and kind of loom over through here. That way I can see where they lay. So hopefully we don't have to do anything, you know, jump through any hoops or anything to get that wiring harness put on from here. So we'll get cracking on this thing and see if we can get it wired up. Well, sorry I didn't get the whole wiring harness install in one video. I know everybody, you know, wants to see a 10-minute video where you get like a whole lot of work done in the one thing, but as anybody who's ever built anything like this knows, that's almost never the case. It's, you know, and that's kind of what I set out to do in building this project and starting my channel, was to show that it's not just, okay, let's put the wiring harness in and then bam, it's done, because there's so much involved in what actually makes all of that happen and what makes it work, and all the little small things that they don't show, that if you try to do it on your own, you realize after the fact, you're like, oh, well, crap, you know, I didn't know how to do that. And, you know, that makes all the difference in the job. You know, that's what, you know, when you just see that car and you think, oh, I'll just slap that motor in there. And it's never just that easy. It just don't work like that. And for those of you that have been watching and following all along, you've seen all the small intricate things that go into making this happen that will probably never get seen once the vehicle's done. So, you know, I try to toe that fine line between showing you all the small stuff, but, you know, trying to edit out the crap that's really not necessary, or things that I can shorten up when I can. I do the best I can. I'm certainly not perfect. I know there are some AC lines and some things like that I have to go through, that I have to rearrange and move and do some stuff with on the other side. So gonna have to go ahead and cut this video off here, because there's no way I can fit all of that. This video would be an hour long. So please come back for the next one. Thank you for watching this one. If you're still in at this point, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it a lot. As always, if you got questions, throw them in the comments, or if you just, you know, want to comment on something, tell me I'm stupid, I'm doing it wrong, that's fine. I'm good with that too. If not, whatever. Just come back, watch the next one, and hopefully I will get it wrapped up. I should get it wrapped up in the next one. We'll get this wiring harness all done. So thank you for watching. As always, subscribe, comment, click the little bell so you get notified every time I post a video, whether it be about War Machine or woodworking or building a target to shoot at or something. You never know what I'm going to be doing around here. So thank you. We'll see you in the next one.